Hey everybody.
So there were a couple questions about some things in the break. One of them was an umpire shoe.
Oh, this is a good one.
We don't have
Hey, here we go.
we don't have an official umpire shoe. Boomba on their website sells a shoe that's black. It's got some white on the bottom of it. We wear Nikes on the field for the conference for the most part. Some of us wear the Reeboks. The Nikes that we wear, the bottoms are either black or they're that clear. And then the markings that are on them are either white or that grayish, silvery color. Those are everything I've talked about so far, those are okay shoes. Those are shoes that you're approved to wear through the national office. Your local may be a little bit different. Here's the thing on the shoe. We prefer an all-black shoe. But we understand that we don't have one shoe that fits everybody in here. Okay, some of you Cinderellas have to have different shoes. So the shoe company dictates what's on the shoe. Nike puts a swoosh on it. Reebok puts a white bottom on it. Boomba puts their B's on whatever. So we're going to allow them to do that. If the shoe is trying to be a black shoe, that's what we want. Small amounts of white or that silvery gray color are fine. Blue, red, teal, orange, those are no. So the shoe has to be predominantly a black shoe. One other thing, and I don't know if we're going to cover it. Then, okay, question on the shoe. Yeah.
Yeah. A website called officialgear.com
Yes.
has black umpire shoes.
Yes. Officialgear.com. We stand on our feet for 12 hours a day. I'm not going to tell you which shoe to wear. Make it a comfortable shoe. The other thing we had questions on were, and I know it's a kind of an irritating thing, is bat flips. There's no specific rule that covers bat flips. That's covered under unsportsmanlike conduct. If the bat that is flipped is such that it can pose a danger to either the idiot that flipped it or anyone else around them, because who's been hit by a bat? All you got to do is get hit once. You don't want bats flying around. So, if it is such that it could cause harm to somebody, or it's very flagrant, how do you say it? We're going to get somebody.
I was talking to a gentleman back here in the back. If I see a bat that's flipped and it's shoulder level above me, see ya. I got a guy that just wants to flip it, but again, you know what the bat flipping comes from? It comes from they've probably been chirping each other the whole game, which is again your fault that you've let it get to this point where now when they boo whoop one, now they're going to bat flip the pitcher. All your fault. Period. End of story. Because you've let it get there. Okay? If you got a little kid that just an E player that wants to flip, well, if he hit one out, he's done. But if they just flip it down in front of them, I don't have a big deal. But yeah, if it gets up here, they got to go.
One of the ways that we handle it is, and it's not always a home run. It's a guy who hits a single or the gap, and he's going to flip the bat, because they've been chirping. We let the play go. Play stops. We call time. We go out and say something to the person that did it. And on our way back, we bring the manager out and say, okay, so if he does that one more time, he'll be gone. So if it's just a bat flip that's just, the bat flip in your face, that's the one you got to stop. Okay, Jason, what do you have, about 6.5 hours to cover?
We just got a totally conflicting answer on that, by the way.
Where do we get conflicted?
Totally conflicting. You're saying go out and give him a warning if you think that. You're saying if it's over his shoulder, toss him immediately. Totally conflicting.
It's not conflicting. It's an interpretation. So what is a bat flip? Does it have to go? Wait. Does it have to go over their head?
That's what we
No.
go, I go by over their shoulder. If
Okay,
it's over
so
their head.
a bat flip can be, it's the in your face. That's what the bat flip is. It's not, hey, look how high I can throw my bat. It's, hey, I did this, throw my bat, flip my bat. A bat flip can be from me to Jason.
I don't want it to sound like it's completely, we said two different things, but I believe we were talking about two different things. If I get it up here above my shoulders and head, you're gone. If you flip it and it doesn't, I'm gonna warn you. Now,
That's what
and
I
there's two different scenarios that we're talking about, but it goes back to the intent. If the intent is to be unsportsmanlike, then you have the ability to dump them right then, or you can give them a warning, okay? And I think that's what we're both trying to say here, Mark.
Is that something, Jay, that you guys would do? I mean, I've seen you do it, but you discuss certain teams and certain players that you know do it ahead of the game, that you talk to both the managers and use that as your warning. Listen, if they bat flip where that starts, I'm going to end it immediately, or if it goes over the shoulder, you got your warning now, and he's gone.
Yep, there are people that we have to do that to. And it goes back to being and doing a good pregame. If you pregame it and you let them know, then they have no questions. Again, we can say, in my pregame, I'm going to warn you every time you backflip. Okay, if it gets excessive, I'm going to run somebody. That's great. Or you backflip one time, I don't care how high it is, I'm going to run you. As long as you pregame it, you're right. I understand what you're saying about both of us saying, but I think we were talking about two different
Right,
things.
he's talking about flipping it to the side. I'm talking about the one that goes up over their head.
Over their head, they're gone.
A dangerous bat throw, you can call it whatever you want. A dangerous bat throw, that person's going.
Cool. All right, any more questions on that? Let's jump ahead here. So we're going to talk about, we talked a little bit about reversing calls. I just want to kind of cover this on why you would ever do it and how to do it. If your view was blocked, here's the deal. A gentleman came and asked me in a one-man mechanic system. He gets out from behind the plate. He's going down the right field line to call fair or foul. The first baseman steps right in front of his view. Guess what? That's fair. You know why? Because you can't guess an out. Foul is out. Fair is safe. Okay, so you don't see an out, you can't call an out. He jumps in front of me, we're going fair ball. Okay, so umpire's blue box. There's no way to reverse that call in a one man. You could ask yourself, let me get my partner. Yep, good. Yep, we're good. So you can't do that really in a one man, but in a two man, that can happen. Misinterpreted rule. Two umpires make different call on the same play. I hope that never happens. Okay, if you're both making the call at first, something's wrong with your mechanics. Here's the deal on the West Coast. Runner on first base. Ball hits in the middle. They flip it to second. The guy in the field calls that out. The guy at home calls the backfield. It's not a mechanic we've ever taught. I don't recommend it, but that's what they do. That's the worst position. Now, here's the deal. If you're calling from behind the plate and looking right down the line, that's horrible. Now, if he gets out, I can see where he can get a good angle just like down the field could. He can, but we don't ever teach that mechanic. That's where two people can have a different call. So don't ever do that. Fair foul, home run, four base award, block ball or not, and reversing the call requires an umpire conference. It's not a point, it's not a scream, hey, what do you got? You got a bobble ball? No, I don't. Okay, we're good. Don't do that. It's unprofessional. Okay? Always.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry.
On that double play that you talked about with those mechanics, why do we put out the World Series and we have that?
Because you're working with West Coast guys.
So shouldn't there be something across the board at the World Series?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the answer to your question, and by the way, excellent hat. The answer, well, I'm from Detroit, so naturally I root for Seattle. Okay, so from now on, and in Florida, we're going to be doing the same thing. That mechanic is going out the door. Before they go out on the field, they're going to know that the base umpire has both second and third base. The home plate umpire has third base and home.
Second and first base.
Which one did I say? Sorry. Home plate umpire has third base and home. Base umpire has second and first.
Yeah, don't do that. I understand what you're saying because I think some of the directors, whatever, were West Coast guys, and so that's the dumbest mechanic I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, all right. Discussion with coaches. We talked about this. This is why you pick a coach and you stick with them. Don't try to talk to everybody, okay? It's not acceptable for you to raise your voice or argue ever. Right, Mark? Not acceptable for you to ever raise my voice. Here's when I do raise my voice, and I take it a little more personal. I take a lot of things about what I'm doing on the field personal. No one beats himself up over calls more than I do. I've gone down in tunnels and kicked chairs and thrown stuff because I missed 3 or 4 calls behind the plate in a game, which is probably not that bad, but I cannot stand it. I hate it. I hate messing up. So, Chattanooga, Andy Purcell's rides in third. I call him, what I call him?
You called him
I called him
safe.
safe. He was safe. He got up and he said, he was mad. So Mark, in his infinite wisdom with his Facebook Live, as I'm going by the dugout, says, man, if that'd been anybody else, you'd have tossed him.
That didn't go over well.
Here's the deal. I do not mind anyone arguing ball strikes, fair foul, safe and out. Don't ever, ever, ever question my integrity. Don't ever let anyone call you a cheater, say that you're not calling things because of someone who they are or what team they are. Believe me, we're in the conference. He's been 16 years World Series. I've been 10. Resmondo. Everybody knows them. Everybody thinks that we are their personal umpires. Here's the deal. The best umpires get the best games. Period. End of story. That's how it should be. So that's why we're there. But we get lumped into, well, you're Andy's favorite. You call everything for them. That's not the truth. They're better than everybody. Period. They don't need my help. Okay? So don't ever question my integrity and say I'm trying to cheat for someone to get some kind of gain from it. Everybody thinks we're paid by U-Trip. We make this big money. They fly us around the country. That's not the case. We get $25 a game just like everybody else here. Some of you guys probably get more. In Arkansas, we're getting 30 for one-man mechanics, 55-minute time limit. And they don't have to carry bats. I'm in the wrong business. If I want to cheat and do that, I'll go do that instead of what I'm doing. So don't ever let anyone call you a cheater or question your integrity. That is immediate, dump, see ya, bye. I didn't, okay, but I proved a point. He never said it again. We didn't know each other real well. I wasn't trying to be in your ass, but I got right into space. I stopped the game and pointed right in his face. Don't ever do that. But I did it, so I don't do everything right all the time. But don't ever let someone do that to you, okay? Let's go. You want to watch this?
Yeah, watch it. Sure. You can cut it.
We got time. Okay, so let me set this up. This is Smash It, Bagman. This is the conference championships. There's a runner at first. Lee Powers at first. First and second, 2 outs right there. And Kenny gets the bat. So I'm the second base umpire in this scenario. And I just want to walk you through this to show you how we get together, nobody screamed and yelled, and we got the call right.
Crushed.
And the sound's not working.
Doc,
Anyway,
that's
I'll walk you through it. See that? It's a good pitch right there. That's a strike.
That's a strike, Doc.
Here's the deal. If you're going to let them throw it that high, they can't land it 97 feet behind the plate. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, punch him out. That's outside.
It's Kevin Kennington. We don't ring those
Yeah, I
up,
know.
remember?
I know. Favoritism. I got you.
Like a shine bean up.
You're out.
Safe. So everybody goes, ooh. No, didn't get it right. One, I got it right. Okay, we're going to look at it, but here's the deal. No one's yelling, screaming. No one's coming out to scream at us. Bazat is a little upset, but he's okay. So we're going to replay it.
Would have been easier if third baseman just made the play. His foot comes off. You'll see it from here.
Let me talk to you about that position right there. There's no way for me to get inside on that ball, even though it's a ground ball out there. There's no way for me to get inside in time there because we have to play so far back because of what they're doing. If you're playing inside the diamond, stop doing it immediately. So anyway, the coach is coming out to ask me. Neil Hagler thinks he knows what he's doing. He's dumb too. He's dumb as a box of rocks, but he's funny.
He's a great kid.
He's a great dude. Anyway, so we get together, all 4 of us get together, and they want to ask Tony for help at first base. Okay? The guy was pulling in, so we're going to get together, visit about it.
That's the best crew they have.
Pretty sweet hats we were sporting there that year.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Hello, Tony.
So what I'm asking here, guys, we got anything different? I've got him on the bag. I have nothing different. You got anything to add? And I make the call safe. Okay? And we go on and play. And we're going to look at it closely. You're welcome.
Okay.
So, Here's the deal. You've got to be confident in what you're doing. That's just me being confident in what I'm doing. I saw it. I read it. I was in position. I reacted after the play happened. I paused, and I made the call. Okay? Umpire signals. This is just going to flip through this. We're going back to the hammer strike. Don't wear 2 ball bags, though. That's kind of weird. So we're going back to the hammer strike. It's just straight up in the fist. It's the same as the out. Outs and strikes, we're going to call the same. Okay? And it's not strike. Ha! You can say whatever you want, but I say ha, and they look back and they go, hi? That wasn't hi. I'm like, no, dumbass, I said strike. So anyway. Safes, routine safe, it's this, it's not this. It's not this, it's not, it's out and back in, okay? And then the big out call. So on balls that are down in the outfield, I see a lot of guys run out in the field and just pointing straight down. That's not a mechanic. The guy going out the outfield is here. So that I can mimic it at home plate, okay? Don't ever, I don't know, I might not be able to see it. I don't know what you're doing. Don't ever point down on a track ball, okay?
We'd really like you set making that call too.
Yeah. The key to making a great call, 2 things, is angle and distance. You don't want to be moving because your eyes are moving, okay? You want to be, if this is first base, not everybody can see this, I'm sorry, but if home plate is first, I want to make sure I'm here and I'm getting a good angle. Now, my angle changes based on where the throw is coming from. You always want to be 90 degrees from the throw. The further that it goes to the third base, the deeper I'm in, okay? The more the ball comes to me, the more I'm squeezing towards the line. And that one that the second baseman has to get going to his glove side, he's going to push me into foul territory. Okay, I always want to get a good angle. This is never a good angle, ever, for any call. Here, in my opinion, one is going to get run over. 2, it's just not a good angle, okay? So we want to make the distance. Distance, if you can get there, it's great. That's why angle is so much more important. If you're stationary because you're hurt, knee or whatever, you're not going to be able to get the best distance, but you want to keep the best angle. Okay, does everybody understand what I'm talking about? We're talking about angles and distance. You're not going to get them all right, I promise. You're not going to get them all right, but you need to set yourself up. But you don't want to be moving here, out. No, you want to be able to make sure your ass gets over there. When it's hit, I'm looking at the ball. I see it. He lets it go. I follow it halfway, and then I'm on the bag. It's never looking at the bag waiting for it. Okay? You're going to miss every one of those. Every one of them you're going to miss if you're not following the ball into the glove. Anybody want to disagree, agree, whatever? Perfect. Okay. So these are, we don't need to cover all that. Umpire mechanics, 1-man system. We do a lot of 1-man. 1-man is not standing behind the plate. You guys that are stealing money from USSSA by calling guys out at first from behind home plate and 1-man mechanics, you should be fired, period. Here's the deal. Only you're calling the game. Nope, I'm serious. Nobody's there to help. Every call's got to be yours. You got to understand the game to do a great 1-man. Mechanics and hustle, priorities, infields where every call is made. You got to read the players to help figure out where you're going and end the game with a good out. So here's go. 1-man positioning. There's only 3 positions in 1-man, A, B, and C. You notice there is no D position that says I can just stand here and be a lazy umpire. Okay? Nobody on base. I'm busting my ass up the line so I can get a good angle to make a call at first base with nobody on. The key to a good USSSA umpire is getting your ass out from behind the plate. There's no reason ever for you to be standing behind the plate on any play. Ever. And we don't do this. USA does it, ASA, whatever. They want to roam the third baseline. That's not a mechanic virus. Only happens in the C position. If we got a runner coming from third, we know it's going to come home. I still don't like rolling up the line. I like to be, if you're making a call at home, the best place to be is third base line extended. See everything coming to you. Some guys get out from behind the plate, though, and they get caught on the ball coming in from left field. Now they got to turn, and they're not going to get the outside slide. So be careful. Know what's going on. I got a runner at third who's super fast. I got a lazy fly ball. Okay, he may be coming. So I'm not going to get out from behind the plate. I'm going to go third base line extended, just in case I have a play. Once I realize I don't, boom, I'm out in the middle of the field to help out.
We do have some fields that's actually hard to do because of the short distance from the baseline to the fence.
You're talking about the C position?
C.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
That's fine.
We're talking, I mean, less than from me to you.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking 8.
So the only time you'd ever be in C is with the runner on third. Okay,
Right.
and you can supplement that by going third base line extended. Okay, 2-man system. So That's all I'm going to cover about one man. There's really not much to it. They're all going to cover mechanics and stuff in there. Ball and strikes are number one priority for the plate umpire. Get the catcher out of the way. Here's the deal. This is the last time I checked, no one is stealing bases in U-Trip. Therefore, these catchers that are 6'8", 6'7", 6'9", I can't see over them. So I politely say, I'm not an ass about it, and say, I can't see, coach, I can't see, everything's going to be a ball if I can't. No. Hey, dude, if you mind if I work in front of you? I like to see the plate. I stay in the same position on righty or lefty. If you just play behind me, that would be great. Okay? All you got to do is ask. But if a pitcher gets in trouble and he's struggling, hey, no problem. Come up and put a glove down. As long as you're to the side, I can see, that's great. What happens is, everything's a ball, buddy. I love merry-go-rounds, and I will walk everybody in the country if you want to stand there. Jason Kendrick, that plays major, when he doesn't like what the calls he's getting from his pitcher, and he's a catcher, good, no problem. Ball, because I can't see it. If I can't see it, it's a ball. Yes, sir.
Do you work the slot in U-Trip?
Absolutely. I do. Here's the deal with U-Trip. We've never told you where to stand. It's completely up to you. I'm going to tell you why I stand where I stand, because it makes sense. It's not just because I love to do it. I do squat. And here's the deal. My pants, they're not unzipped. I just have a little problem right here. So anyway, they came undone. My wife would kill me. So I am here. I'm about this far back. I look at where the batter's box is, and I want to get a little further back. Now, if the batter's boxes are wrong, I'm not going to be stuck with the Little League baseball box at 2 foot to the front and 2 to the back, and everybody wants to bitch at me about there being out of the box. Guess what? I'm getting rid of it. Because there's no advantage gained. The only advantage gained, I think, by being out of the box is being in front of the plate, which is clear, or on the plate. Out to the front of the box, we had this huge issue in the conference. We're going to try to fix it, but we're going to fix it by giving the damn 10-foot pitch again that we haven't given in 20 years. We've got to get back. 10 foot from the ground is in the book. Now, 10 foot from the ground and 40 foot back is not in the book. Must cross the batter between where and where? Shoulders and knees, as if the batter was standing where? At the plate. So if he's way up in front and he gets one in his eyes, guess what? Ha! Bang. You got to. That's the only way we're going to get them back. Because they've learned that in U-Trip, we're given the 2 foot from release, not even 3 foot. It's coming 100 miles an hour. They've got to get up in the front to catch it. Because we're giving them that pitch. There's guys that if it crosses the plate and it comes to their hip, they're giving it to them. That is not a strike and it will never be a strike. Okay? So, here's what I get. I always get right here. I know in my mind, if a ball lands where I'm standing back by my feet, we don't call where it lands. That's not what we call. We not care where it lands. Where it lands gives me a reference point to know that was either too tall or it came in too flat. Okay? So, and I'll sell it too. If it comes in back here, I'll just lift my leg. So the pitcher knows, damn, that was way back there. I've got to shorten it up. I don't even have to say anything. Ball. And we don't land planes. We don't say, yep, inside, outside, over him, flat, ball, ball, strike. What was wrong with that? Hey, you just let him know when you go back in that those are really flat and they're always going to be flat. And the 17, you're still going to be flat. So if you just put a hump on them, that'd be great. Don't be a dick to a pitcher that asks you what's wrong. Now, if he's being a dick and throws his mask off and whatever, time, coach, I'm going to let you go have a free conference to settle him down. So you're going to go talk to him, and then when you're out there, I'm going to come out there. I'm not going to charge you a conference. We're not going to do this. I'll let him go out. I'll come out and say, here's the deal, dude. That's flat. That's all there is to it. It's never breaking the plane. Well, it's 3 foot. Well, from the ground? Oh, for release. Yeah, dummy. 3 from release. Okay? 3 from release. There's nobody releasing a pitch from down here that's getting it up 3 from release and getting it called a strike. It better not be, because it's going to be too fast. The physics of that are impossible to be a strike. And I'm going to cover that in depth in a little bit. But I'm here, lefty or righty, I never move. And the reason I never move is because everything looks exactly the same now. I'm consistent with where I am. I'm not over here. I'm not back here. Some guys get way too far back too. Now, everything that lands 4 foot back looks good, and those are all heavy. And you're banging them for strikes. So I just get up as close as I can. I work in front. I've never been hit in the mouth. Thank God, 25 years. I may at some point. I never had the catcher in front of me. And I always had them right here. I never had them try to get over here because they're out of the box. Lefty or righty, I'm in the slot off the plate. Now, it doesn't matter what you do. I just suggest that you do it the same every single time. Anybody got questions about that? Perfect. So you got to get out from behind the plate and get into the field. Every single play, you can't take one off. You've got to get out in the middle of the field. You may not do anything, but the perception is, hey, at least you want to be there. Okay? Time. Time. It's not this. Time. As you walk back with your freaking indicator that you don't really need, because there's only 4 things that can happen in a trip now with no courtesy, I would suggest you don't use the indicator. But if you do, that's great. Don't get caught looking at it and the ball's still in play. So when the play ends, everything's done, everybody stopped, the ball has stopped, time! Back to the plate. First thing that I do, every batter, every pitcher, hand up. Here's the deal. 4 things have to be ready. Batter, catcher, pitcher, myself. If I'm not ready, we're not playing. And no one can play until I put it in play. This is not in play, okay? Let me know when you're set. I give everybody a verbal. Church league to major, they all get a verbal. Church league, they have no idea. What do you mean? Let me know I'm ready. I'm ready now. Okay, well, here we go. Play. So I'm just trying to be consistent. Just trying to be consistent. I don't want anybody caught off guard. You cannot quick pitch a new trip. Any ball crossing the plate, not swung at, is what? Is what? What kind of ball? Dead.
Unfairly delivered.
When does it live again? When I do what? Put it in play. If I never say play, it wasn't in play. They can quick pitch all day long, but what happens is you guys set yourself up with this indicator bull crap. He pitches it, ha! You're looking at your indicator, boom, the next one comes right here. You didn't call dead ball. You didn't say the ball was dead. Everybody assumes it's live because you don't have your hand up. You appear ready because you're standing there, but you're looking at your indicator. Now you have no clue what's going on. Ha! Not necessarily he's going to get out of the box, but he probably is, because nobody in U-Trip likes to have a strike called on him, because God forbid you say strike. So they're going to step out, they're going to take their swings, hit their foot, spit, wink at their wife and their girlfriend, whatever they're doing. Let me know when you're ready. Here we go. Play! Play! If I don't say play, we're not playing. Ball comes in, don't swing. No pitch. If he swings and hits a bomb to win the game, we're going to do it again, because I wasn't ready. Everybody ready but you, Red? You're exactly right. Read the book. 4 things got to be ready. I'm one of them. Yes, sir.
Do you allow a batter to step out and take practice swings on every pitch?
Yep, because it's not in the book that they can't. That's the only reason. That's the one thing we haven't gotten to. We've tried to speed the pitchers up. We've gone to 2 pitches the first inning, 1 pitch every inning after that for the warm-ups. They can't throw it down. If they do throw it down, it's a ball to the batter. Every time they throw it around, it's a ball to the batter. Okay? So we've tried to fix the pitchers. We've got to fix the batters, and we haven't. Okay? They got 10 seconds to get back in there. Yes, sir?
On a pitching change, how many balls do you get to throw?
Pitching change of a guy that's never come in, 1.
1 minute or 2? 1.
Really?
1.
1 pitch.
1 pitch. 1 pitch. So, if you're allowing more, then that's your fault in the balls. Or you can allow them, whatever. Okay? So, you've got to give a vocal time when play's dead, and you've got to give a vocal play to put it back in play. Okay? Nothing can happen with my hand up. You guys can't move. You can't do anything. You can't appeal. They throw the ball over to first base, want an appeal. Guess what? You got? That's an illegal appeal. Now you've lost the opportunity to do that. The ball is dead. No one knows the ball is dead if you're just standing back there. Just assume that they have no idea what's going on, and you've got to teach them. You're the facilitator of the game. Time. Let me know when you're ready. Now, if he wants to be a dick about it, he didn't like the strike. Oh, play. I hope you're in, because we're going. Okay?
In the 2-man system, who calls time? The home plate umpire?
Home plate umpire always calls time. The only time that would not happen is if I roll up to third, my partner comes into home, they now become the head umpire and they call time. Because you don't want to call time when there's something could be happening behind you. Okay, if you're a field umpire calling outs and there's a runner third, don't call time because you can't see what's going on. Only the person with the full view of the field should be giving a verbal time. The guy in the field should be mimicking it with his hands up after you've said time.
Jason,
Yes.
pitching rule 6, page 34, it's 2 pitches.
Yes.
When a new pitcher comes in.
With the new
I just want to make
pitchers,
sure that
too.
everybody
Yeah.
understands that. We have, no, we don't give minutes, pitcher changes.
Up to 2
2 pitches.
2 pitches.
2 pitches.
Or 1 minute, whatever's.
Not on a pitching change, it's 2 pitches. There is
So I
no time
misspoke.
limit.
See, look at that, I messed up.
It does say a time limit.
It does say or 1 minute.
It
I know
says 1
that.
minute, as many pitches as good in 1 minute.
Not more than 1 minute may be used to deliver not more than 2 pitches.
Let's not get in the weeds. We'll cover that in a minute. All right.
Yeah, I messed up. So it is 1 minute. We never give them a minute.
Ever. Here's the deal with pitching changes. In the conference, if I have to wait for you to put your shit on, you're only going to get 1.
Right.
It's true. But if we got to wait for them to get their stuff on, that minute's obviously going to go by. You're going to get one, and we're rolling. Yes, sir.
Going back to calling time, you said only the home player calls time.
Yep.
I've had incidents where somebody would throw the ball into the outfield, home player might have a season. So I'm on a base, I call time.
Okay, I got you. I'm talking about in the play of the game. I'm gonna call time. But yeah, if someone throws a ball in and I don't see it,
Right.
absolutely you're gonna call time and kill it. I'm talking about at the end of a normal routine play. You want the guy that can see the whole field calling time. Yeah, if someone throws a ball in from the outfield or whatever, or a ball's coming in, absolutely. Something happens, second baseman pops off and says you're a terrible effort. Yeah, absolutely. Time. See ya. Then coach. Yep.
Here's a question.
Yes, sir.
You want an infield umpire putting his hand up. I disagree with that.
Okay.
Play's still going on. Oh, in front of him, he's putting his hand up like that.
Absolutely no.
Yeah.
Never,
Correct.
never, ever put your hand up until you hear me say time. Time! And then you can get your hands up. Before that, you should never signal anything if you're in the field.
Put it in your pocket.
Absolutely. So, ball and strike count is 0-0. We haven't been 1-1 in 50 years. 0-0, you walk on 3, you strike out on 2. Period, end of story. Don't say strike 3, it's strike 2. Okay? Your job is to double check the batter first, making sure they acquire it. But you got to do that from the middle of the field. Don't do it from behind the plate. Okay? If he goes out, if she goes out, you've got the whole field. Now you're in one-man mechanics, A, B, and C position. The whole vocal time thing, you just got to be able to communicate with the player. Don't say it as you're going back, because they may try to pick a guy off at third base, and it might have been a good play, and neither one of you are paying attention because you call time and you're walking backwards. Okay, time, and then get behind the plate. Okay? So cleaning the plate. That's funny. Use a brush most of the time. So here's the deal about cleaning the plate. You can use it to send lots of messages, tons of messages to catchers, batters, whoever you want to. Just keep it clean. I mean, you can walk by after the play's over, you call time. If there's a little spot on, I'm really anal about the plate, and so I'll just kick it off a little bit. But if it's covered up, they've slid in it, please, God, don't do this. I haven't come out with it yet. They'll treat you with the brush on it. I haven't seen it yet. But if they do, that'd be really cool. Don't do that. Use your brush. Your brush is part of your equipment. It's just like your uniform. Ball bag, indicator if you use one. I didn't mean to make fun of people who use indicators. I'm sorry if I offended you.
They're clickers up here.
Yeah, whatever they are. Here's the deal. If you need it because you've always had it, great. If you're keeping up with outs, that's fine. There's only 3 outs, and there's only about 4 or 5 things that can happen with the batter from plate with no courtesy foul. Okay? I would suggest that you don't have it because you're going to get in trouble looking down and somebody's going to catch you off guard. That's my only suggestion. I don't have one. I don't use one. We use a hotel, wherever we go, our hotel key card. That's how we keep up with outs. This is 0, 1, and 2. Okay? That's all we carry. And a coin if we're behind the plate. That's it. So we've just figured out a system. Less is more. I just don't. Now, if you just use it because you got to have something in your hand, that's great. But just don't get caught looking at it and not with your hands up. I can control the whole game with this. Dugout, chirping, quick pitching, batter in the box. Everything can be controlled right here. I don't have to say a word. I'm loud, but I don't yell and scream on the field. There's a lot of times I'm just like this. And so they'll figure it out, or I'll explain to the coach, hey, here's what I need. No one can do anything if you're here. If you're not here, they can do everything. Because you haven't called it dead, and you haven't put it in play. I would just encourage you just to use your hand. And it's not here. It's here. Okay? You don't have to be ridiculous about it, but get it up where everybody can see it. So when you need a break, when it's covered dirt, somebody gets hurt, that's when you want to be doing the play. So here's me behind the plate. That's about the distance that we talked about. So anything back here by my foot, I think I have a red thing. Oh yeah. So anything back here by me, I'm assuming that it crossed him up here, or it came in at the hip. So here's the deal with pitching. What the ball has to do. The book says the ball must be coming down prior to crossing the front of home plate, not home plate itself. The ball must be on a downward angle before it reaches the front of the plate. Too many times we're giving the 3-footer, that might have been 3 foot, but it crossed here, came behind the plate, and then dropped. That's not a strike. Never going to be a strike, will never be a strike, but every one of us call it. That's why they move up. to get it before it comes down. They don't want it leveled off like that, okay? So, this gentleman here, in my opinion, way too far back. Lots of things in his way, in my opinion. That's just me. I'm just trying to show you, if a ball hits behind the batter's box right here, I would bet he's probably going to call that a strike. And I would bet that 7 times out of 10, that's not going to be a strike. Okay? I just think he's too far back. That's just me.
For the second base umpire. The second base umpire is with a 5-man, he's actually still in the way.
Yep.
What's the difference between him standing there and him standing on the outer edge of the grass? There is no difference, except the fact that he's now out of the way.
Right.
I mean, he's out of the way of all the other fielders right now, but that's...
Where do you want him?
I want him back further.
I can't touch there, but...
I want him back here.
Can't reach. Too short.
Here's the deal. Doc always tries to jump ahead. I'm going to get to field umpire mechanics in a minute. Sorry, Dad. We'll just talk about it right now. So the field umpire, you guys that are inside this diamond, who's still playing inside? You're going to die. So there's that. I'm just going to leave you at that.
But I'm in way better position not to be in the way.
I understand you're in better position, but to me, it comes across as a little lazy because you don't want to have to come out and back in, and you're going to get hit. I'm just saying. If you're playing the screen, that's great. I'm going to talk about those that are outside the diamond. If you're inside, you're right. You're in position. All you got to do is turn. Boom. You got the whole world. But if you're outside, your first job is to get your ass inside. Okay? If you can't, then maybe you need to go to an inside position. I don't mind, but we're never going to teach that because you're going to get hurt. The bats and the balls today are stupid. They're not changing. They're only going to get hotter. If they're not playing with a net, you're going to get hit. And I just don't want you to get hit. But your first move has got to be inside. Your first move can't be, fly ball. Who's got to tag the second? So now you put a lot of stuff on me behind the plate that I've got to do. Yes, sir.
On a one hopper to the third baseman, how are you going to get inside the bag?
You don't get inside the bag on anything that gets to the infield. Just like that play that I had earlier at the conference, even though that was an infielder playing shallow left field, there's no way for me to get inside there. That's just something you're going to have to give up. You can't, on a ground ball to the infield, you're not going to be inside. Louis Rainier. I'm not sure why this video's in here, but I guess we'll see in a minute.
Louis snuck it in.
So that's Doc behind the plate. Again, hand up. Let me know when you're ready. Play. So Doc is a more relaxed approach. Me, I'm kind of down like this. So, it's just about where you want to be. I don't care where you are. Just try to work on trying to make it the same for everybody. Be in the same spot every single time. So field umpire mechanics. 10 to 12 feet behind first base. Probably a little further. With no runners on, you're going to be behind second base to the right or left of the umpire, or umpire preference. 5-man may dictate. Here's the deal with the 5-man. If I'm in the field, I want to try to be opposite of him. But if I'm opposite of him, that means I'm in the center fielder's way, because the center fielder is always opposite of the 5-man. So here's what you have to do. You have to communicate what I do. I figure out who the center fielder is as he's going out and say, hey, dude, here's the deal. My name's Jason. Anytime I'm in your way, just say Jason left, Jason right. Okay? Just let me know when I'm not going to check with him every single time. If I don't hear my name, I'm assuming I'm good. 99.9% of the time, I'm on the second base side, even in a 5-man, because he's usually over there. If not, I try to stay behind the furthest infielder. That's what I'm trying to get. I don't want the 5-man right here on my hip unless I know he's going this way. I'll tell him, hey, which way are you going? I'm coming your way on the pitch. Okay, so I'm going to take a step back. I just don't feel comfortable being in the line of fire. I'm too old to be able to move that quickly to get out of the way. And so I'm going to be back here and take my chances that I can bust my ass to get in the middle on a fly ball. Okay? Because I've got to get in the middle to turn and find it and then make the call. I'm not going to call it from out here. That's lazy. Okay? If you're playing inside, all you got to do is turn. I get it. I fear for my safety.
And the position of the base umpire when there's a runner on, please do not stand inside. Now I tell you that because of the official position of USSSA is that we are behind the infielders, that we are out of their way. Second thing is, in a court of law, when your widow is suing USSSA, we're gonna say, nope, this is where we told him to stand. Not sure why he's standing there.
Yeah, I'm only,
Okay?
we
The
only.
mechanic is not in the infield, not in front of the base.
Again, you're supposed to wear a seatbelt too. So there's that. We've taught you, we've told you, we've communicated to you, it's in the book. I wish you would try it, but if you don't want to, I'm not sure what else we can do. So, if you're going out for a fly ball, you're going to stay out. I would encourage everyone to go out for short fly balls and traps if you're in the field. You know what? Makes you look good. That's an effective hustle. Like, damn, he's out there. Okay? It's a trap, whatever. You're right on it. You don't want to be running right towards him. You want to get an angle, see where he's going to catch it. It's either down or we got it out. Yes, sir.
Two-man system mechanics, runners on first and second, and the infield is like on the edge of the grass.
Yep.
And it's a fly ball. It's not going to be a possible trap or a low line or whatever. It's a fly ball that, you know, is either going to be caught or dropped.
Okay.
You know what I mean? What's the best way for that infield umpire to position himself as far as being able to watch the runners to see who leads early?
Yep. So
What is his responsibility?
So your responsibility is second base. We talked about in the pregame, home plate's got first and third, you've got the tag at second. Let's assume this is second base and we're going to third, okay? So if I'm here on a fly ball, if it's hit to this side of me, I'm here, turn, find it, tag. If it's hit over here, I'm going to come in this way and find it and let them go. But you've got to get inside. You can't guess. You can't be here going, don't do that, please, because you're going to look bad. Okay, that's why you've got to get inside. Every fly ball, your job is to get inside. Whether there's nobody on base or somebody on base, your job is to get between the pitcher's mound and second base. Yes, sir.
Where can we find the official mechanics on paper?
That's coming. In the beginning, I was telling you about the links on the website. Once we have them to a point where we feel comfortable putting them on that, you will be able to go on the national website, go onto the umpires, go on the link of the umpire mechanics, and they will be right there. They're all done. We're just dancing, dialing them up a little bit.
For those that want to see them, we've got them. I'll let you look at them this afternoon.
Yeah,
You can see exactly what we've got.
We can roll.
We've got diagrams of every position possible for both home plate and field umpire in a 1-man, 2-man, 4-man, and 6-man.
And that's online now?
It will be.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm not seeing something about the infield fly rule.
Infield fly rule. Yep.
Okay, I'll wait till you go.
We talk about it right now. Infield fly rule. Here's the deal. What everyone misses about the infield fly rule. It's not just a ball hit in the infield. Any ball that can be routinely caught by an infielder is an infield fly rule. If I got a 5-man playing 40 feet off the bag and he catches one, guess what? Infield fly, batter's out. Any ball that can be routinely caught by an infielder is considered an infield fly.
How is he an infielder if he's 40 feet into the outfield?
Is he an outfielder?
He's not. He can't be. What if they're playing a 4-man?
It's if you're playing a 4-man, of course. But if I got a 5-man that's in and out, he's an infielder.
An outfielder can catch an infield fly call. An outfielder can catch an infield fly call. If somebody's coming on a full sprint from left field, and the guy's sitting right underneath it, and he calls him off, and you've already called it, it's still an infield
In
fly.
that scenario, yes, a guy could come running in and run over whoever's supposed to get it and say, I got it, and call it. I get it. And that goes back, here's the deal, routine and umpire judgment. Is that a routine play? Is that a routine play that guy makes every day?
No.
So,
I mean, you can't say
any
it
ball
has to
that
just
can
be an
routinely be caught by an infielder, yes.
I'm talking about the infield turns his back and goes on a few steps.
If just because he turns his back and has to go get it, I still consider. Depends on what class I'm calling. That may be that may be routine or it may not. Complete umpire judgment. If he's got to turn his back and go and dive for it, no sir.
What if it's 90 feet in the air?
What's that?
What if it is 90 feet in the air? Just saying.
I don't care how high it is in the air.
Okay.
If he gets under it, he can make it look routine. We're gonna call him to a fly. Yes sir.
Thing that a lot of people don't realize.
Hands up.
When you talk to 5-man, taking 25 feet out past second base, if there's a pop fly to him, you don't make the call, and they throw second or third, and get a double play, there's going to be about 10 people running out of the dugout to get you base.
Yep.
You got to think of that.
So if it's routine by an infielder, I'm always going to call it. Here's the deal. Here's the other thing that we've got that we're going through talking about. Runner on first base. Guy hits a hard line shot to the middle infielder. Bam, boom, on the ground. Guess what? I'm going to kill it. Dead ball. We got an out. Intentionally dropped. Now, same scenario. Runner on first base. Guy hits a routine pop fly to the shortstop. The guy out of the box is not running. Everyone is screaming. He's not running, not running, not running. Shortstop camped under it. It's 20 feet high. It's routine. My mother could catch it.
He doesn't touch it.
Doesn't touch it. Lets it hit the ground. Guess what? We're rolling it up and getting to it. An intentionally dropped ball has to be attempted to be caught first. You can't drop something that you never touch. Okay? I'm not sure that I agree with the rule or like it. We've kicked it around a lot. But today, if the other ball hit the ground and they don't put a glove on it, we're rolling it up. That's your fault for not running out of the box. I'm going to penalize you for that. But a hard shot to the middle infielder, if you feel like he could have caught that, and he lets it drop, or he turns his glove backward, lets it hit, bam, dead ball, we got an out. That's unsportsmanlike, too. I mean, you could really get them for a whole lot of things, but we're just going to kill it. We're only going to get one. They're not going to get the chance to get two. Again, it depends on what class you're playing. If I'm doing church rec, and the pastor doesn't know which glove to put the hand on, and he drops it, I'm going to probably let him roll it up, because he's a pastor. So, and the only other rotation is field umpire is coming home to make that call home if I'm going to go third. Again, all of these are in the PDF. We just haven't made it back for everybody. 6-man system, that's the best. That's a lot of fun. So that's just more positioning. Umpire position, no runners on. We're going to move into foul territory. Proper angle and distance. We've covered all this. So here's what I was talking about, 90 degrees from the throw. The throw is coming from the long lines. I should be where the short line is. The further the throw comes away from me, the more angle I need to get at first base to be able to see a pulled foot or whatever from the first baseman. We are going to talk about safety bag in a little bit. A lot of you guys use that. We try not to ever because I hate it. There's some rules around safety bag that people aren't quite aware of sometimes, but we'll get to that. So this is where you should be. The further the ball gets to you, the more it pushes you into foul territory. So runners on, we got a runner first. Your positioning should be you're coming out from behind the plate and the field guy is coming into the middle. We talked about that. If you're already in the middle, that's great. I'm not going to say one way or the other. We're going to teach it from the outside in, but you do have your feel comfortable. So he's got to get runner on second, fly ball. He's got to get in position here to get the, first of all, he's going to get the, he's here for the tag. And now if he's decided, hey, I got him, boom, I'm going to let him go and I'm going to come here. But I got to make sure he tags first because that's my tag. Okay? This could be, the reason you might do this if the throw's coming from here and he's running this way, it might be easier for this guy to come up and get that. That's the reason I would go with that mechanic. If the throw's coming from here and this guy's coming over anyway, he's going to have the same angle, so I'm going to probably let him have it. But this is probably, I would go a right field line drive or a fly ball and we're going to get a tag. I'm going to roll up and get him and let them come home.
Everybody understand that?
It's pretty basic. But and then he calls time, or she, field umpire, would call time. I won't, because I don't know what's going on behind me. Yes, sir?
That ball's hit to the right side, like you said.
Yep.
You're working kind of with a guy who doesn't do very well. If I'm doing home plate, is it okay for me to say I'll take the ball and the runner?
Yeah, but as long as you're communicating that. Here's my deal with mechanics in a two-man. As long as I know what you're doing, brother, let's go. Let's do it. It doesn't matter to me as long as I agree with it, as long as you said, hey, we're both going to run them down to third base and then we're going to high-five each other and then dab and call. That's cool as long as I know what's going on. The problem is we got guys that won't communicate that. And so now you're out there calling out, he's calling down, whatever, and we got a runner that has no idea what's going on. So short fly ball, nobody on base. There's no reason why, if it's a short fly ball right here, that this guy can't go get that. And if he does, then we have the A position, one-man mechanic here. Even on a, if they get caught in a rundown, he's going to get both ends.
You just said earlier.
I just said earlier what?
that if that ball's hit into the outfield, you turn and run towards the middle of the infield.
I think this is short fly ball. If it's a short fly ball that's going to be, you think it's going to be a trap, you have every opportunity to go out there and get it. I'm not talking about a fly ball that obviously is going to be routine. This is something not routine. The guy's running in. You think it's going to be a trap call? I'm going to go out there and try to get it. If it's routine, I'm busting my ass to get to second base. Everybody, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about everybody's favorite thing.
Here we go.
So we've talked a little bit about all of this earlier. 4 things got to be ready: batter, catcher, pitcher, and umpire. Okay, it can't be ready until I put it in play. Dead ball, everything not swung at after crossing the plate. Why do we say after? Can he bounce one? Can he bounce one off the plate and I still hit it? Yes. Absolutely. So it's got to be after crossing the plate. And we always want to get our hand up after every pitch. So, pitching requirements. These things have to be in order for it to be a legal pitch. 1, you got to be facing me. You got to be facing home plate. You can't be here, Andy Purcell, here, waiting for me to say play, and then turn and spin it. You can. That's not a problem. You can do that. That's unfairly delivered. Must be facing me. Must pause 1 second. This is not a pause. Facing me. He's facing behind me. Play. Boom. Nope. Not going to do it. That's unfairly delivered. He's got to come here. Now we can go.
What about not looking at the plate, but looking to the side? The third
Must be facing home plate. I go shoulders sometimes. If I got a guy that's pump faking here and he's looking, I'm good with that. If I got him here, pump faking, nope. He can do this all day. Well, not all day. For how long can he do this? 5 seconds. So when I get to 5, he better be here and give me another pump fake, show it to me, and then let it go. 5 seconds. Play. 2, 3, 4. Time. Ball. It's 5 seconds. Now, sometimes we're a little quicker, depending on who they are. Sometimes we're a little slower, depending on who they are. I get it. 5 seconds is 5 seconds, okay? Foot's got to be on the mound, or if we're talking about the 50 to 56 box, that is a pitching rubber. That is a 2 foot by 6 foot pitching rubber. If they're out of it, way out at second base, and they come in here, nope. They got to pause. They got to pause on the rubber, which is a 6 foot part. They can walk in, it's no problem. If they're behind it, outside of the box, they can fake. They got to stop, give me a pause, and then they can come with it. They cannot walk through the box. That's just like walking through the rubber. If we're talking about 50 to 56 feet. I don't do any of that, so it's hard for me to, you can visualize it because I just don't see that. Mine's 50 foot all the time. Underhand motion. So, there's been lots of conversation about what's underhand. We've got a lot of guys that are here. That's no problem. The problem for me is there's nothing in the book that says how far your arm can be away from your body, okay? But underhand means it's got to be underhand, okay? So if your hand is lower than your elbow, I'm good. This is good. This is not. That's my judgment on what underhand is, okay? There are some guys that are sticklers. Boom, right here, that's good. This is not good. There's nothing in the book that says my arm can't be 3 feet away from my body. What it does say, it's got to be an underhand motion. This is not an underhand motion. This is still an underhand motion. Everybody agree, disagree, want to talk about that? We can. Probably not going to change my mind, but that's how I see it, and that's how we're going to teach it. This is underhand, this is not. But it doesn't matter how far away from your body your arm is. They've got to do all of these things, though. They've got to face home plate, they've got to pause, they've got to put a foot on the rubber, and they got to be ready to go. Okay? 3 from release. Oh, boy. So,
Jason,
yes?
Just a quick question.
Yep.
On the release.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of pitchers over the years, I know how I call it. They do the reverse flip.
Yep. Still an underhand motion.
That's right. A lot of,
It doesn't really matter where the ball is, the motion is an underhand motion. The motion is a pinch over your arm. It's an underhand motion. This is not. Yes, sir?
We had a debate last year in our first opening night of the year. The pitcher was doing during his fakes. He threw the ball up to himself.
It's a ball. Now, the only reason it wouldn't be a ball is if I'm here and he's faking. If he lets go of it and re-catches it, time, ball. Just like dropping it. Just like you have a guy too that pump fakes and then he wants to throw it in his glove. Yep.
You can't bounce it behind the rubber anymore? Can't bounce it? People.
No, not if I've said play. If I've got my hand up, we can do it all day long. But if the ball comes out of his hands and doesn't come to me, it's going to be a ball. Okay.
Wait, one more thing. So, if he's pump faking and his hand hits his leg, and the ball comes out, that's time. That's no pitch.
That's completely different.
It's completely different. We reset. We do 5 seconds again.
If it's intentional, it's different.
Say that again, Doug?
If he's pump faking and he accidentally hits his leg and the ball comes out, we have nothing. We're going to reset it.
No pitch.
No pitch.
No pitch.
How about if it comes out of his hand without the intention?
That goes back to umpire judgment. I'm assuming that if he gets his leg and falls out, he didn't intentionally do this. He would not have wanted to. No. Yes, sir. If you feel that it was an unintentional action by the pitcher, I'm going to kill it and we're going to restart it. I can't imagine him wanting to throw it backwards on purpose.
Try to get it to focus. If you hold the button down, usually it focuses.
Sorry.
I have to look at intent. What's the intent? Did he intend to drop it or did it unintentionally fall out of his hand?
Because it's pump fake, you can't figure that intent because you don't know which one he's going to release.
Man, you got me, but I'm gonna re-tee it up and we go again. That's me. I mean, you can only do over one thing in softball. What is it? What's the only do over? There's only one time you ever say I do it over.
Coin flip.
No. One part. You only get one mulligan redo. Go ahead, wrong ball.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So that's the only time you can ever say no if that doesn't count. Yes.
Quick question, sorry to keep going, but so in the process of presenting, and he charges the batter, then he's backing up to go back to the mound to stand and release.
Yep.
And he falls down. I just said you used your 5 seconds. That's a ball. Let's go again.
Play. Now, if he can do whatever he wants to, he's got 5 seconds. If he can do all that shit, get back, reset again, and pause for me again and release it, we're good. But if not,
well, he fell on the way back.
Well, it said 5 seconds.
There you go.
Yep. So, let's talk about 3 from release, 10 from the ground. So, we have a lot of guys all over the country, not this conference, that want to get way down here. That's fine, and they want to release from here. Okay? So, very rarely can a guy release from here, get enough on it to get 50 feet, and not be too flat or no hump. Okay? 9 times out of 10, when a guy finally releases it, even Vidsack, he's way down, but he's still, sometimes he gets up in here. 3 from release. So, this bat's 32, 34, around there. So 3 from release is right here. The ball has to get this high. Has to. Every single time it's got to get this high if I'm releasing from right here. That's 3 from release. This is not 3 from release. Okay? This is 3 from most people's release. If it's here and he's releasing it, it's still got to get this high, but I promise you it's going to be too flat once it gets there.
Isn't it 3 from release, 6 from the ground?
10 from the ground. So 10 from the ground. So that's 10, so that 10 is really high. Okay, so 3 from release. But here's the deal: the ball has to be coming at a downward angle before it crosses the front of the plate. So if I got a guy that's way down here, most likely, if I got a guy standing, this is a right-handed batter standing even with the plate. For those who can't see the plate, if it's crossing him here like this and then dropping, that is a ball. That is too flat. Well, it cut him right across the chest. Sure did, at about 172 miles an hour. It's got to be coming here. It's got to be coming here. Okay? If this is the front of the plate, it's got to be coming at this motion. It cannot plateau and then drop. It's an arc. Up and down. What we're calling is up, flat, down. Those are not strikes. Those are balls. We've got to stop calling that because now I've got everybody and their mom 82 feet in front to get it when it plateaus before it drops down. It's got to go up and down before crossing the front of home plate. That's what the book says. Like it or not, that's what it says. That's what we've got to call, and that's where we're missing it, in my opinion. We're giving the 2.5 footer because it lands right here, so by God, it must be a strike.
Absolutely.
And that is not a strike. I do not care where it lands. It can land here, and guess what? Ha! You still got a strike. Right-handed pitcher that brings it, lands it right here, I'm going to bang somebody. I'm going to crow hawk somebody for strike 2 if it lands right here. Okay, it's not where it lands, where it crosses the batter as if they're even with the plate. Okay, so what happens is, again, I'm a right-handed batter, that's the pitcher. I get a guy way up in front, 2 feet further in front of the bat. Okay, so now we got a problem. Now, what's happening with most of you guys and girls, this one comes in here, it lands, ball, heavy. Why are you calling this a ball? Well, it crossed in his eyes. Well, yeah, but where are his eyes? Way up here. Now, if I move him back, guess what? Boom. You've got the only way to get them back in the box is we've got to call that pitch. But what we can't do is call that pitch and let it land 100 feet behind here. Okay, you've got to have some judgment on what's too much through the box. There is no such thing as deep and U-trip. I hear that every effing weekend. I got it. It's just a word we use to describe a ball that crossed above the batter's shoulders. Heavy, deep, ball, over it. Okay, I say heavy, Ken Hawk, he calls ball and he does this. He lets them know, this is where it crossed. That's kind of like a dad. So I say heavy, sometimes I say deep, sometimes I just say ball. Hey, what's wrong with that? Yeah, it's a little heavy, just shorten it up a little bit. Tight's great, just shorten it up. Okay? Anybody have any questions about that? 3 from release, not from the ground. If you got a guy coming way down here, it's got to come up. Here's what I do. I take my hat, and I'm looking right at him. So if it goes above my hat, if I have to do this, probably going to be too high for me. Okay? If I don't, and I find me a tree or something down in the background, give me a point of reference, hey, that's going to be my 10 foot today, that looks about 10, we're going to go with that. The lower side, when he releases it, if I don't see air between his helmet and the ball, if I don't see some sky, some space, absolutely not. If it comes out and it never leaves where his eyes are, flat. All day. Here's the deal. Here's how I help myself with it. Anything that's borderline close early in the game, flat, because I don't want to get in a position where he's going to go low and his counterpart's going to try to go lower. And I've spent 7 hours calling modified games. So if it's borderline flat, the first one that comes out of his hand, ball, put a hump on it. Just keeps you out of that 2.5 foot from release that's crossing across their waist at 20 miles an hour that you're calling strikes. Yes, sir?
I'm sorry if this is not the right question at this time. I don't know if you're going to go over, but I want to get it in. Black part of the plate. You know, I play in leagues where it's either 15 or unlimited.
Yep.
And so the plate's mostly white, and it has a black part that, you know, the mound is, the plate is installed correctly. The black is actually should be under the dirt, and it's just the white showing.
Yep.
But unfortunately, that does not happen.
Yep. So black is not part of the plate.
Black is not
But
part of the plate.
Physics suggests that a 12-inch ball that hits the black part of the plate, I guarantee you nicks some white.
Unless you can see, like, it almost kicks like on.
But if it does come in and kicks like that, guess what? It's got to be too flat and fast anyway.
Jason, I'm going to handle that for the state of Massachusetts.
Yes, sir.
Okay? If any of your leagues are playing that if it's hitting the plate or hitting a mat, if it hits something, and that's a strike. These guys are calling tournament. The explanations they're giving are tournament play. If you're in a league and it hits any portion of it, it's a strike.
Including the brush?
Any portion, black. If they don't bring the dirt up to cover the white, if it hits any portion, it's a strike.
There you go.
Takes all the guesswork out. That's Massachusetts. And we're going to leave it at that. We're not going to sit there, like Jason said, did it hit a spec, did it hit the line? If it hit it, it's a strike.
Yeah, so we just went the other way with it. We just went the other way with it. If it hits the black, in my opinion, it had to hit white, so I'm going to call a ball. You do whatever that gentleman tells you there to do.
Folks, we are, if you looked at the agendas that I gave you, we're going to be dividing the room up right now before we continue. I would like this side of the room here, please. This side of the room over here. Would you go out the door? see Mike McKinney to the right, and he's going to put you in a room for mechanics. Roman Ferguson and Jimmy Jackson, I want to thank you very much for running that part. We also have a guest here today we haven't seen in a while, Sean Tiernan from New Hampshire. Shawnee! Say hello.